2025, that racial or ethnic minority for all persons is going to be up above 50% in Fairfax County. And people say, ooh, when they hear that. Well, guess what? This is not a trend that's just Fairfax County. This is a national trend. By 2030, they think in the United States, the population that we think of as non-Hispanic white is going to be less than 50% of the total population of the United States. %45 of our children in Fairfax County have at least one parent that's foreign-born. And of those children with foreign-born parents, 80% of them, or 4 out of 5 of them, are U.S. citizens because they were born here. Now let's take a little bit closer look at where the folks are coming from. On the right is Fairfax County. On the left is the United States. Take a look here. In the United States, half of the foreign-born population has come from Latin America, which is Central and South America. Here in Fairfax County, half of our foreign-born population is coming from the continent of Asia. For the U.S., it's only a quarter of the foreign-born population is coming from the continent of Asia. For us in Fairfax County, only 30% of our foreign-born population has come from Latin America. So it's almost a flip-flop of what the national profile looks like. We have many, many more foreign-born residents who have come from the continent of Asia than the U.S. as a whole. If you take a look at our 10 most frequently spoken languages, and you can see they trail off very quickly in the size of the population speaking the languages, and that gives you a feel for the diversity here in Fairfax County. Spanish, of course, is the largest chunk of those speaking a language other than English, and they make up about 30% of the language group. However, when you're talking about Spanish, you got a lot of countries there, including territories like Puerto Rico. So the biggest chunk is El Salvador, which I said earlier is about 30,000 people, but then it starts trailing off very quickly with other countries. Korea, we've got about 35,000 residents speaking Korean in Fairfax County. The reason we have fewer foreign-born Koreans is because we have a lot of folks whose heritage is Korean, who are not foreign-born, who speak Korean at home, or Korean at home. Vietnamese is the next one, Chinese, Urdu, French, and Cajun, Arabic, Persian, Tagalog, and Hindi. The ones in green are all Asian languages. One of our biggest growth countries for foreign-born population has been the country of India over the last decade. India, the size of the Asian Indian population in Fairfax County is almost the same size as the Korean population now in Fairfax County. The reason the language Hindi is kind of at the top is because in India they speak a lot of different languages. They speak Urdu, which is also up there, that is also spoken in Pakistan. But because there's multiple languages spoken, including English in India, as a language group they don't show up quite as uniquely. But that's another way to take a look at our populations. On the continent of Asia, where have our foreign residents, where were they born? persons born in Korea make up about a fifth of the residents coming from the continent of Asia. You then see the Vietnamese, and then over here you see the Asian Indians. And then they start to drift off fairly quickly, and a quarter of the population coming from the continent of Asia is in such small chunks I haven't tried to even show it in this pie graph. But they make up a very large chunk of our population that was born in Asia. But let's take a look at some of the bigger populations and a little bit about what's happened to them as they come into this area. If you look at year of entry, you can see that it has grown. And just between 2000 and 2007, we've already added about as many as we did between 1990 and 1999. And this is, the red outline is Fairfax County, and this is a map of Northern Virginia. And this is where our Korean population lived in 2000. I can't do this map because we don't have the same sub-county level information currently. But if you look, Fairfax County holds most of the Korean population. Any place up on that map that is yellow or brown is where somebody who was born in Korea now lives lived in Northern Virginia in 2000. And you can see certain areas are more densely populated. This is sort of the Springfield area here. You know, you go out to Centerville and Chantilly area up there, and you can kind of see where that population is settled. But what I really want you to notice is there's virtually no area in Fairfax County that's not colored. They live everywhere. They live everywhere everybody else lives. And that is something that surprises people. If you look at year of entry, similar to when I was showing you the people shadows, before 1970, there weren't very many folks who had come over. But if you look at the last 3 decades, or 4 decades really almost, that is when we've seen most of the entry of our foreign-born Korean population. Let's take a look at the Vietnamese. Again, everywhere in Fairfax County. And Fairfax County contains most of the Vietnamese in the Northern Virginia area, but there's a very high concentration just inside the Falls Church Arlington line. Year of entry, same profile. Looks very similar to what I just showed you. Our Asian Indians. Again, Fairfax County. It's a little bit different because with the Koreans and the Vietnamese, you saw more in the inner area of Fairfax County. Here you see it out near the Route 28 corridor, Centerville, Chantilly, that sort of thing. Year of entry, though, is a different profile. You can see how heavy that entry was between 1990 and 2000. And if you want copies of these, I have copies on the table up here, so you can grab them for free. This is our Chinese born population, and again, pretty much covers the whole county. And they're kind of settled in similar places to our Asian Indians, except there's a very heavy concentration, again, in the Arlington, Alexander border area.